Forward, toward you, dear Casey. As I type this, the snow is stacking up the window pane in a vertical pile of white that threatens to block out my entire view of the outside world. I'd be happy for an ant colony to take up residence there and create little tunnels so I can watch them move and work against the glass. I know that's not going to happen, but you can see the odd places my mind has already started wandering to. I've cooked several meals using my freezer stash, eating leftovers on the following days. Be warned, after this deployment, I might never want to cook chili or beef stew again. I'll have to use the recipes in the cookbooks we got at our kitchen shower, but right now I have no desire to cook anything special for me. I'm trying to make the house look more homey, but it hasn't improved much since you left 4 weeks ago. The vanilla walls with their scattered nail holes feel like they belong to someone else. I did hang our wedding canvas, though, and I find myself staring at it for long periods of time. I wish you were here. I wake up in the middle of the night and see your empty pillow. I curl up in a ball, squeeze my eyes shut, and pretend you're holding me again. I can't wait for that day. I hope you're dreaming of me right now. All my love, Sarah. She clicked send as the tears spilled over. I'm sorry I'm not more positive, she whispered to the void. Hey Sarah, I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't forget that. I'll be home snuggling you on the couch before you know it. Time is flying here. We work long, hard hours on the flight line with only half a day of rest on Sundays, but there's a frenetic energy that keeps everyone moving and positive, somehow. Maybe because we have such a singular, unified mission. I don't know, but the work seems more fun here in Afghanistan, despite it being frickin' cold. I'm sure it's worse for you in North Dakota, though, with all that snow. Hey, Jeff said his wife is in a spouse club on base. Maybe you could meet up with them and make some new friends. How is the job hunt going? Gotta run, forever yours, Casey. He pulled on his helmet and ran to the hallway as the rocket sirens wailed. Dear Casey, I'm so glad the work is fulfilling for you there. I wish I could say the same. The job hunt is going. Most stores told me they won't do any hiring until the spring. I left applications at a couple of places. And one manager flat out told me it wasn't worth her time to train someone who might move in a year or two. Is that even legal? Either way. It was super discouraging. But I did sell 2 scarves through my Etsy store, so that's something. I met up with 3 of the wives in the spouse group for lunch yesterday. They were kind and asked questions about us, but then moved on to discussing their annual fundraiser. I still managed to feel lonely. They didn't do anything wrong, but I was longing for the comfort of a friend who really knows me without asking for a dry list of hobbies and background info. I know, I'll give them another chance. I can hear you across the ocean. I'm meeting up with them again next week. In other news, a colony of ants has moved into the kitchen wall. Remember how I said I'd love to watch ants in the window? Well, my wish was granted, sort of. I guess they needed shelter from the bitter cold, which is relentless, so I can't really blame them. And I'm honestly lonely enough to be grateful for any company I can get. I sound pathetic. When the quiet in the house gets too unnerving, I turn up the music really loud and have a crazy dance party no matter my mood. I've done some angry air guitar, head-banging moves, tearful snotty-nosed ballet, smiley happy dances, and a lot of jumping around for no other reason than to move my body. It's my most regular form of exercise, and the ants must enjoy the show. I'll show you my best moves when you get home. Still crazy in love, Sarah. Her eyes pricked with tears, but this time she blinked them away and headed to the speaker to turn up the music. Hey Sarah, I love picturing you dancing in the kitchen. I think of you all the time. Life on base has been really stressful the last few weeks, so it's been hard to write. We've seen a huge uptick in rocket attacks, which is uncommon for the winter months. I feel on edge 24/7, and I'm not sleeping well. Just counting the days till I see you again. Will you send me a new picture of you? Forever yours, Casey. He shut the laptop and covered his face with his hands, desperate to block out the images of what he saw earlier in the day. Dear Casey, I've been praying for you every day since your last email. I'm so proud of you for serving our country and working so hard out there. I still can't believe how lucky I am to be your wife. Keep pushing forward. We'll get through this deployment one day at a time, and then we'll be reunited. My heart expands thinking of how joyful I will be on that day.
And away we go, the ache for home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned. Maya Angelou. My backpack is ready, and I have my thermos of tea. It's magic and will refill itself continuously. Come along with me as I journey to the 10 places I would most like to see. We will ride by train wherever possible to each of the locations. Money is not an issue since I hit the jackpot in the national lottery. We will taste food, see sights, take photographs, and leave footprints. Ready? Our first stop is Machu Picchu, 7,000 feet above sea level, which we reach by luxury Pullman train. Lunch and dinner is included. I chose the lamb cannelloni with spring greens and Mara's beef for dinner. Afternoon tea is in Machu Picchu. How exciting! Fresh scones with clotted cream and raspberry jam. While enjoying the tea, we are serenaded by native drummers and pan flute players. The music lifts our spirits. Gratuities are not included, but I have that covered. Truly, an experience of a lifetime. After petting the alpacas and looking in their eyes, we leave Peru and head to Japan. First stop is Ito Yukado. There are several of these, like Target in the United States. The rooftop is where we are headed. Pinball games, soft serve ice cream, and chicken teriyaki on a stick. The bathtub in our guest house is incredible. We sit and water comes up to our necks. I relish bath time since I love the water. One of the neat things about Tokyo is that everyone rides their bicycles. There is no room for cars since there are so many people, over 8 million, so we don't even need a driver's license to get around the city. We'll have some delicious soba, buckwheat noodles, and vegetables in broth for supper, but mustn't forget to slurp, it is discourteous otherwise. While here we will observe a traditional Japanese tea ceremony and maybe buy a kimono or two. Japan was terrific, but now let's head to Virginia Beach where we can look at the waves while dining in style. I can hear music box dancer coming through the speakers, music to soothe the soul for sure. We can hear the waves when we open the door to the balcony from our hotel room. We might take a side trip up to Chincoteague and see the nearby Assateague Island, home to a special breed of horses. Now we'll board a train and head down to Fort Morgan, Alabama in the United States. One of the grocery stores has all manner of cakes and other delicious desserts that they sell by the slice or whole. And the same chain has Mediterranean salad bar with vine leaves, olives, fresh mozzarella, and lots more. Even if we are cooking in the guest house, we can accent it with these goodies. If the flies are bad, we can douse ourselves with lotion like the locals use. Fish baskets are made from daily caught fish and is served with lemon. Most of the time it is grouper and is delicious. We can have tea or coffee on the balcony of a morning while chatting to the little gecko who visits and catch the sunset over the ocean. I am reminded of the song Southern Nights. The air smells so fresh and clean here, it is very refreshing. We board an Amtrak train and get off as close as we can to Garden of the Gods in southern Illinois with a limo ride the rest of the way, of course. Lunch will be chuckwagon patties and for dinner beans and cornbread. One of the most breathtaking formations is Camel Head Rock, and yes, you can walk out onto it, but be careful, especially if it has been raining. Nestled in the Shawnee National Forest, we can really soak up the energy of the ancient ones. Calm, peaceful, and awe-inspiring. The trails take about an hour to walk and there are benches. The Garden of the Gods is over 3,000 acres, so we need comfortable walking shoes and lots of memory in our digital cameras. We leave Garden of the Gods and indeed the United States and fly to Clydach in Wales. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote about it in The Hound of the Baskervilles, and there was a curate whose diaries were published after he died, Francis Kilvert. Let's look at the cemeteries and newspaper offices before we leave. I might find more ancestors. The earliest one I have was baptized in Clydach in 1717. While here we can try leek soup, Welsh cakes, divine morsels with currants, and of course rarebit, real cheesy. Another plane ride now and we land in Mount Shasta, California. We need to be a bit careful here because the volcano could become active. It is a magical place, the second highest peak in the Cascades. I want to try and find the secret city known as Telos. We'll keep an open mind and enjoy the beautiful scenery anyway. I've booked a table for us at Lily's where we can have eggs Benedict, beet salad, and decadent chocolate cake for dessert. I have everything including tips covered. Native tribes refer to Mount Shasta as a region of peace. That sounds ideal. California was great, but now let's head to Durban in South Africa. We'll have bunny chow for lunch.